Part 7. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yun Suya. Chapter 61. Chapter 61 Stay away from Jun Chennai. By the way, your math is also very bad, remember to do more questions. Xia Ying paused for a moment. Is she bad at math? Well, she was really bad at math at this time in her previous life, but by her senior year of high school, her math had become her strong point, so for her now, math can basically be ignored. I know. Xia Ying nodded. Do you know why your math homework book is still empty? Yu Lingfeng slowly opened Xia Ying's math problem book, stared at her with interest and asked. I'm doing something else. Xia Ying explained in embarrassment. Yu Lingfeng said nothing until his eyes fell on the large-sized school uniform jacket in Xia Ying's school bag. Yu Lingfeng frowned, and then took out the coat. Xia Ying bit her pen and watched Yu Lingfeng's movements. That one belongs to Jun Chennai. Xia Ying explained first. Yu Lingfeng raised his eyes and looked at her in confusion. Xia Ying is embarrassed. Why does she feel that Yu Lingfeng gives her a feeling of being caught and raped? It's hard to explain. Before Yu Lingfeng could ask anything, Xia Ying prevaricated. Is it related to the injury on the back of your head? Well, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Xia Ying looked confused. Yu Lingfeng said nothing, and Xia Ying lowered her head silently. Yu Lingfeng's tutoring was late today. It wasn't until he noticed that Xia Ying yawned several times in a row, and then raised his head to look at the clock on the wall at night, that he realized that it was already 11 o'clock. That's it for today. Yu Lingfeng stood up and prepared to leave. Xia Ying stood up from her seat. I'll see you off. Yu Lingfeng didn't say anything, but he acquiesced to Xia Ying's actions. When Xia Ying sent Yu Lingfeng by the living room at home, Luo Xin, who was watching Korean dramas in the living room, was surprised that Yu Lingfeng hadn't left yet. If she had known earlier, she would have made some midnight snacks or something and sent them over. Xia Ying and Yu Lingfeng came to the door of the house. Xia Ying stopped and said, Yu Lingfeng, thank you, go to bed early. Yu Lingfeng turned around and looked at Xia Ying. The cool light at night shines on Xia Ying's fair face. When she was a student, Xia Ying did not apply makeup, but she was still stunningly beautiful. Fans who like Xia Ying say that she has a pair of very charming and contagious eyes. As long as she smiles when she sees those eyes, her whole mood will improve. This is why Xia Ying on the screen can attract so many fans off the screen. Even though Xia Ying has stopped appearing in the public eye and filming commercials since she was 8 years old, as long as the words child star or the most beautiful child star are mentioned in media articles, Xia Ying's name must be included. The entire entertainment industry is waiting for her to grow up, wait for her to finish the college entrance examination, and wait for her to stun the entertainment industry again. Yu Lingfeng stared at Xia Ying for a while before speaking, and said something that confused Xia Ying, stay away from Jun Chennai. Xia Ying frowned. Remember what I told you, stay away from him. Yu Lingfeng's face was expressionless, but Xia Ying could tell that he was serious. But, he and I are at the same table. Xia Ying didn't know why she had to talk so much to Yu Lingfeng. Moreover, Yu Lingfeng asked her to stay away from Jun Chennai, so did she really have to keep her distance from Jun Chennai? Well, maybe she will. Because in her last life, Yu Lingfeng seemed to have been doing her best to protect herself. When she was on the verge of collapse and most helpless, Yu Lingfeng always appeared at the right time. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yun Suya. Chapter 62. Chapter 62 Tomi Love. Yu Lingfeng raised his eyebrows and said, you should understand what I mean. You can maintain the relationship as classmates, but nothing else is allowed. Is Yu Lingfeng afraid that she will fall in love with Jun Chennai? Xia Ying was puzzled, but nodded anyway. Yu Lingfeng turned and left. Xia Ying stared at his figure for a while before turning back to the house. The next day, Jun Chennai heard the servant say that Miss Xia Ying was here, so he put down the game controller, put on a black jacket, and walked to the living room. Xia Ying was standing in the living room at the moment, waiting for Jun Chennai to come over and then leave. Fortunately, Jun's parents were not at home at this time, otherwise Xia Ying would have been dragged into having a chat with them. Jun Chennai looked at Xia Ying from top to bottom. She had a black coat, a black mask, and black sunglasses in her hand. "Are you so well armed?" Jun Chennai smiled and approached Xia Ying. "For you." Xia Ying handed the bag to Jun Chennai, who took it and handed it to the servant. "I don't want to be photographed and then make some random remarks. More importantly, can you control your fans? Why are you still coming to my Weibo when you have already made a statement saying it doesn't matter? Harmful." Xia Ying became angry when she thought of this. There are many celebrities, and a popular guy like Jun Chennai probably has more crazy fans than all of Xia Ying's current fans combined. Jun Chennai sneered, "The mouth grows on them, what can I do? Forget it, that's it, I'm leaving." Xia Ying turned around and was about to leave. "Hey, don't you sit down for a while." Jun Chennai stopped Xia Ying. "No need, I have other things to do today." "What about you tomorrow?" Xia Ying paused, then looked back at Jun Chennai warily. "What do you want to do?" "Aunt Luo said that you are very talented in music. I will release a new song tomorrow. Are you interested in coming over and listening to it?" Jun Chennai looked at Xia Ying with a smile on his lips. Xia Ying thought for a while. According to her memory, the new song Jun Chennai released at this time should be his debut in the previous life, which seemed to be called Glass Ball. This guy is not only good looking, but also talented. He is good in movies, TV shows, and singing. It is difficult for him not to become popular. "No, that's fine." Xia Ying turned around and left after finishing speaking. According to her memory, Jun Chennai's song is bound to hit the charts and win the Most Popular Song of the Year award. This person is really a cheater in life. He can become an actor by acting in movies, and he can become a hit song by singing. If he makes any slight move, his fans will die. Jun Chennai froze on the spot. Was he rejected? This girl is really ignorant of current affairs. Xia Ying plans to start recording her third song today. She has decided to release 3 songs this year, not too many. Although she wanted to gain popularity, if she became too popular too quickly, it would push her to the forefront. At that time, driven by interests, she didn't know if her identity would be revealed, so she decided to be conservative. The first song is a ballad, the second is a hip-hop song, and the third song is just an ordinary love song. Xia Ying revised the song she wrote to Hanzija that she had sent in her previous life. The title remained the same, it was still Tomi Love, but the object was changed. Family, friends, lovers, this song expresses all the lovers encountered in one's life, and can touch everyone's feelings. When Xia Ying finished writing this song, she already had tears in her eyes. The male protagonist Yu Lingfeng, Yu Lingfeng, Yu Lingfeng. I say the important name 3 times. Jun Chennai is the male supporting character, but a certain male protagonist may not appear so frequently in the early stage, but he is still the holder of the male protagonist's halo. It's okay if you don't understand some parts, don't delve into it, because Xiao has said that the male protagonist is a bug, and your confusion will be solved later. In one sentence, this male protagonist is not simple. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuan Suya. Chapter 63. Chapter 63. I like her like that. Xia Ying locked herself in her room, recorded the song for several hours, and then uploaded it. Xia Ying was exhausted after recording the song. She picked up her phone to post a Weibo post and walked out of the room to drink something to soothe her throat. Who would have thought that as soon as Xia Ying opened Weibo, she was frightened by the hot searches on Weibo. The relationship between Jun Chennai and the child star has escalated again. What the hell, what kind of title is this? Xia Ying is confused. However, what makes her even more confused is that the most searched, Jun Chennai, the second most searched, Xia Ying, and the third most searched, Jun Chennai replied to Xia Ying's Weibo anti-fans. Xia Ying frowned. What did Jun Chennai reply to her on Weibo? Xia Ying inexplicably logged out of Thornbird's Weibo and logged into Xia Ying's Weibo. Her latest Weibo post had hundreds of thousands of comments. Xia Ying was shocked, and then she clicked in. The one with the most likes was Jun Chennai's reply to the Weibo reply by Hey Xia Ying, which had the second most likes. Iffier, I said you don't want to take a pee and look in the mirror to see what kind of thing you are? He is just an 18th tier child star. Why, he wants to debut again, so he is dragging our young master Jun into the scandal. It's really disgusting and scheming. We, Mr. Jun, look down on women like you. Jun Chennai replied to the user Master Jun Xiao Xingxin, who said I can't stand it. I just like her like that. Xia Ying's face turned dark. Is Jun Chennai planning to cause trouble? Xia Ying quickly logged out of Weibo and called Jun Chennai. It took the other party a few seconds before he slowly answered her call. What, have you changed your mind? Jun Chennai, what are you doing? Why are you replying like this? Aren't you deliberately trying to make me drown in spittle? Jun Chennai chuckled, didn't you ask me to help you? I'm not letting you do anything wrong. Please make a statement to explain this matter clearly. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Jun Chennai did not reply for a long time. Hey, are you talking? Xia Ying said again. Jun Chennai lowered his tone and said something meaningful, you really don't want to have anything to do with me. Xia Ying was speechless, what the is this person doing? I'll make you regret it. Jun Chennai hung up the phone. Xia Ying is petrified, what does it mean to make her regret? No matter what it means, in short, she no longer wants to see Jun Chennai's fans active on her Weibo. At this time, when Xia Ying walked to the living room, Xia Chuanhai and Luo Xian were discussing Jun Chennai's reply to Xia Ying's Weibo. And Luo Xian was actually on the phone with Jun Chennai's mother. The two of them were talking and laughing, saying that the two children had a lot of fun. Hey, Sakura, it turns out you are at home. Xia Chuanhai smiled tenderly when he saw Xia Ying. Xia Ying curled her lips and didn't want to talk to him. Xia Chuanhai betrayed her and her mother. Even though Luo Xian no longer pursued the matter, she could never forgive him in her life. What's more, in his previous life, he married Xia Menjian's mother after Luo Xian's death. Xia Chuanhai realized that Xia Ying was cold to him. He thought that Xia Ying would slowly accept him after a while, but he found that he was wrong. Since Xia Menjian entered this home, Xia Ying has never taken the initiative to talk to him again. She still cannot forgive him for his past mistakes. Sister Xia Ying, what have you been busy with recently? Xia Menjian noticed that Xia Ying always locked herself in the room from time to time, and would not come out for several hours at a time. What was she doing? Young master is going to cause trouble hiya hiya. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuan Suya. Chapter 64. Chapter 64 Jun Chennai and I are not familiar with each other. Study, otherwise what can I do? Xia Ying replied lightly, then sat down and stared at the TV screen. Luckily there is a cubicle in her room where she can record as much as she wants without worrying about being heard or anything like that. When she was a child, that cubicle was where Xia Ying used to digest her sadness. Whenever she was bullied, or met a friend who betrayed her with false feelings, Xia Ying would lock herself in that small cubicle and adjust her emotions silently. The reborn Xia Ying obviously does not need that place. Now that she has been reborn and experienced the suffering in the previous life, no matter what happens now, it is nothing to her. That small cubicle was decorated by her into a good singing practice room. Xia Menjian frowned. Why did Xia Ying suddenly become so fond of studying? At this time, Luo Xian hung up the phone, walked to Xia Ying with a smile, and said, Xia Ying, it seems that your relationship with Chen Yi has developed well recently. Xia Ying was helpless. Mom, no, this is not what you think. Jun Chenai and I don't know each other very well. Xia Ying said, taking a sip of milk to calm down. She really didn't understand why Jun Chenai did this. If he did this again, Xia Ying would be scolded by his fans and quit Weibo. Hey, wait, the Thornbird has a new song. Luo Xian was just about to say something when she glanced at her phone. She suddenly became excited, opened Weibo, clicked on Thornbird's new song, and played it externally. The clear and lively voice of Thornbird suddenly came from Luo Xian's mobile phone. Xia Ying silently took a sip of milk, and her mother actually paid attention to her. And judging from her intoxicated and excited look, she seems to be a loyal fan of the Thornbirds. When the song ended, Luo Xian said with emotion, Xia Ying, you actually liked singing when you were a child, and you sang very beautifully. When you were a child, you often said that you would be China's Britney in the future. Your mother always thought that you were I will be a singer when I grow up. Xia Ying replied silently, I just talked about it casually when I was young. But this Thornbird is really talented. Her songs have become hits every time. She has only 3 songs now, and she already has more than 3 million fans on Weibo. It's really amazing. Many music companies have I want to sign a contract with her. Luo Xian praised. Xia Ying was perfunctory. By the way, let's get back to that topic. You said you and Chen Yi are not familiar with each other? What do you mean? Aren't you roommates now? Mom, I don't like Jun Chenai's type, so don't mess around with me now. I just want to study hard and get into God's university. Xia Ying's face was full of determination. Okay, it's a good thing that you are so motivated, but you really don't like Chen Yi. That kid is full of advantages. Why don't you like his type? Luo Xian has always thought that Xia Ying would be lucky if she could marry Jun Chenai in the future. He had watched Jun Chenai grow up. Luo Xian had always liked Jun Chenai since her parents became friends with them. He has been polite and smart since he was a child, but he is still so good and has good character when he grows up. And judging from his current appearance, Jun Chenai seems to have a high affection for Xia Ying, so Luo Xian really hopes that they will get together in the end. He is so handsome that he feels insecure. Xia Ying made up a nonsensical reason, then got up and prepared to go back to the room. She didn't want to stay any longer and have Luo Xian question Jun Chenai and other things. Whether it was the last life or this life, Xia Ying never thought about being with Jun Chenai. What's more, Jun Chenai's ending has long been doomed. Xia Ying thought of this and finished the milk in the cup, suddenly feeling a little melancholy. Thanks to the little cutie WSM Happy Angel for the reward. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuan Suya. Chapter 65. Chapter 65 currently ranks first in votes. The school is currently preparing for its centenary anniversary. As it should be, each class will have several programs. As a century-old school, Guangjiang is also the most prestigious school in the city, so there will be many media reporting on it that day. A pushy person like Mu Niankai would naturally not let this kind of thing go. The most eye-catching program on the school anniversary is nothing more than the finale stage play. This stage play is the hard work of the school's teachers, so the choice of actors naturally becomes a key factor. According to the teachers' ideas, the male and female protagonists will be voted on by the whole school in a fair and open manner, and the one with the highest votes will play the role. Muniankai very much hopes that she can be voted as the heroine, but she is worried about what to do if Xia Ying gets more votes than her. No, she will never allow such a thing to happen. The position of the heroine must belong to her. Xia Ying and Xia Menjian were sitting in the car going to school, and Xia Ying was browsing the information on the web. After she posted the new song last time, her Weibo followers surged by more than 300,000. On the music rankings, Tomi Love by Thornbirds and Glass Ball by Jun Chennai are neck and neck. Thornbirds topped the list for a while, and Jun Chennai topped the list for a while. The competition is very strong. Sister Sakura, you are currently the number one in terms of votes for the heroine. Xia Menjian pushed Xia Ying's arm, held up her mobile phone and said to Xia Ying. Xia Ying raised her eyes slightly. She probably knew that Xia Menjian was talking about voting for the heroine, so she smiled lightly and said, "It's just for now. Anyway, the heroine can't be mine in the end." How could Muniankai allow herself to fall behind? She will definitely find a way, just wait and see. Xia Ying shrugged. It seems to make sense. Xia Menjian nodded slightly. Xia Ying remembered that the heroine in her previous life was Muniankai, and the male protagonist was undoubtedly Jun Chennai. In the previous life, Xia Ying ranked second in the votes. The teachers wanted her to play the second female lead. Because she didn't want to play with Muniankai, Xia Ying refused and only played a soy sauce role. The second female lead in the previous life fell to Xia Menjian. It was also because of the stage play that Xia Menjian and Muniankai got closer to each other, and the two of them began to fight against Xia Ying in a coordinated manner. The reason why Xia Ying doesn't want to act in a stage play in this life is simple. She doesn't want to get too close to Jun Chennai. Although Xia Ying knew that Muniankai used special means to defeat her in the previous life, she didn't care. She didn't want to act anyway, so she might as well give Muniankai an advantage. Moreover, she currently doesn't have much energy to compete with Muniankai for these things. The exam is coming soon, and Xia Ying feels a little panicked. Although the last math test gave her classmates the impression that she had successfully counterattacked and become a top student, Xia Ying's science subjects were really weak. If she didn't do well in the exam, let alone be laughed at by those girls, Xia Ying herself would feel uncomfortable. She has been studying hard every day during this period. She asked Ye Xiaoxun if she didn't know how to do it in school, and asked Yu Lingfeng when she got home. If there was no effect after working so hard, Xia Ying would be a little depressed. Sister Sakura, do you like the role of the second female lead? She is the heroine's friend. Although it becomes darker later on, she still has a lot of roles. Xia Menjian continued to say to Xia Ying. Generally, although this kind of role is not likable, it is a test of acting skills. If the performance is good, it may even steal the limelight of the heroine. Why do you say this? Because this is how Xia Menjian succeeded in her previous life. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuen Suya. Chapter 66. Chapter 66. Maybe we can become friends. To be fair, this script is indeed good. It promotes truth, goodness, and beauty, and is more in line with the ideological trend of the younger generation. It will not be unacceptable to those old teachers with stubborn ideas. But the heroine is a bit of a virgin, and a virgin heroine is not easy to control, especially a vase like Muniankai who has no acting skills. Compared with Xia Menjian's vicious second female lead, who is full of firepower, Xia Menjian is angry. In the last life, Xia Menjian immediately became a famous figure in the school because of that stage play, completely getting rid of the title of Xia Ying's younger sister. It also became popular in media articles and was trending on Weibo. In addition, Xia Menjian was smooth in dealing with things. Even though she stole Mu Niankai's limelight, she was able to smooth things over for Mu Niankai. Good. In fact, Xia Menjian was just using her. If it weren't for Mu Niankai's boldness, recklessness, and powerful background, Xia Menjian wouldn't bother making friends with such a brainless person. I don't want to do the stage play. Xia Ying curled her lips. Xia Menjian couldn't help but feel elated after receiving the answer. She was just afraid that Xia Ying would be interested in the second female lead, because if she was interested, she would definitely not be able to rob her. But if Xia Ying quits, she will have a great chance to play the second female lead and make a counterattack. Xia Ying naturally knows that Xia Menjian has this little thing in her heart, but she really doesn't want to get involved in the stage play. So what if Xia Menjian hooked up with Mu Niankai like she did in the previous life? Xia Ying knew what would happen next, and Xia Menjian couldn't defeat her. Xia Ying has never been able to understand Xia Menjian. I don't understand the reason for her sudden appearance, and I don't understand the reason why she tried every possible means to frame him and ruined his family. But all she needs to know is that Xia Menjian has an even more powerful mother. She doesn't know where she is at the moment, and she is hiding and not showing up. That woman is the truly powerful character. Compared with her, Xia Menjian is still inferior. So, Xia Ying had to build up her fighting power before that woman appeared. In this life, she must protect her mother and everything about herself no matter what. When Xia Ying came to the classroom, Jun Chenai was already sitting in his seat. Looking at him like that, he seemed unhappy. Xia Ying didn't think much, put down her school bag and sat down. Xia Ying returned the borrowed notebook to Ye Xiaoxun. Ye Xiaoxun turned back and smiled sweetly at Xia Ying. Ever since the little incident last time, Xia Ying clearly felt that Ye Xiaoxun was particularly kind to her. That kind of rare and simple feeling, let's put it this way, Ye Xiaoxun is treating Xia Ying well in her own way. For example, in a comprehensive science class that Xia Ying does not understand, a notebook with detailed procedures will be prepared for Xia Ying so that she can borrow it, even though many of the steps are very redundant for a top student like Ye Xiaoxun. But it is very valuable to Xia Ying and can make it easier for her to understand. She always shares some of her snacks with Xia Ying. Xia Ying is also a very fond of food, and Ye Xiaoxun's taste in snacks is similar to hers. The important thing is that Ye Xiaoxun can always find some snacks that Xia Ying hasn't eaten for a long time, and then bring back Xia Ying's memories. Xia Ying suddenly felt that maybe she and Ye Xiaoxun could become friends. Perhaps the first real friend of the same age in life. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuan Suya. Chapter 67. Chapter 67. I really want to know her. Xia Ying opened the book and started to preview. In fact, she had already previewed it yesterday, but she still felt a little uneasy. Besides, there was nothing else to do, so she might as well read it one more time. Jun Chenai's table was filled with gifts from his fans. Jun Chenai stared at those things with disgust. He clearly said on the first day of school that he was just an ordinary student in school and asked everyone not to regard him as a star. However, some girls still couldn't suppress their inner restlessness and went to his class every day. Things are stuffed into the desk, which has affected his normal study life. Jun Chenai held his forehead, feeling a little headache, and let out a long sigh. Who sent the messy things to Brother Chenai again? Clean them up quickly. At this time, Mu Niankai ran over and tried to please Jun Chenai as usual. The girls behind Mu Niankai heard this and quickly cleared the things on Jun Chenai's desk. Mu Niankai, on the other hand, said to Jun Chenai in a flattering manner, "Brother Chenai, don't worry, I will help you handle these matters in the future." Mu Niankai smiled sweetly. "Thanks." Jun Chennai did not raise his head to look at her, but just said a faint thank you. By the way, brother Chennai, I listened to the new song you released yesterday. It's very good. I really didn't expect that brother Chennai could sing so well. Muni Ankai looked at Jun Chennai with starry eyes. Fine. Jun Chennai curled his lips. Muni Ankai saw that Jun Chennai's expression was not right and seemed unhappy, so she left angrily. When Jun Chennai is unhappy, it is best not to provoke him. This is the experience Muni Ankai has accumulated since knowing him for so long. Xia Ying glanced at Jun Chennai, who was currently looking at the screen of his mobile phone and saw Tommy Love by Thornbirds at the top of the latest music charts. Jun Chennai quickly put on his headphones and clicked on the song. Jun Chennai has been playing singles on a loop. He thought his song would undoubtedly take the #1 spot, but he didn't expect to find the dark horse Thornbird halfway through. Now his new song ranks second on the list. Although second place is also a good ranking, for Jun Chennai, who has been shrouded in aura since childhood, as long as he does not get first place, it is a failure. He wanted to know what was so good about this song. Jun Chennai put down his headphones at Xia Ying's reminder. He was completely immersed in the song and didn't even realize that the teacher had started teaching. That song is, indeed, very good. Although my own songs were released after 3 months of hard work, it is obvious that Thornbird's new songs are more able to stir up the softest love string in people's hearts. Humans are emotional animals, and this kind of song can move people the most. Jun Chennai suddenly felt as if he had lost somewhat willingly. Compared with the Thornbird, her song was indeed more attractive and more resonant with people. Jun Chennai didn't even listen to the song of Thornbirds when it became popular all over the internet some time ago. He thought that Thornbird would be like other phenomenal internet celebrities, and would calm down after being lively on the internet for a while. But now he realizes that he was wrong. The Thornbirds are not heroes made by the times. She is a really talented singer. Jun Chennai suddenly wanted to know such a person. Winter vacation update time, 2 updates per day, at 12 noon and 9 p.m. Add more to see the recommendation votes and activity level, and I am in a good mood. If there are recommended positions, I will also add more. Just show your love to the little cuties. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yun Suya. Chapter 68. Chapter 68. Xia Ying's voice is very similar to that of a thorn bird. Sister Niankai, I swear, the sisters around me have tried their best to canvass you. They have used all means. Sun Han said flatteringly beside Mu Niankai. Mu Niankai gritted her teeth after hearing this. So, even with so much effort, she couldn't defeat Xia Ying? Mu Niankai glanced at the current voting rankings. She still lost more than 100 votes to Xia Ying. In the eyes of the boys in Guanyang, Xia Ying is the kind of aloof goddess, so being able to see the goddess come down to earth to perform is a great benefit to them. Sister Nian Chi, I heard Xia Ying say this morning that she doesn't want to play the heroine. Xia Menjian said from the side. Mu Niankai put down her pen and asked quickly, why doesn't she want to act? You must feel unworthy to compete with our sister Nian Chi, Sun Han flattered her loudly. I don't know the general reason, but isn't this a good opportunity for you, Sister Niankai? Xia Menjian glanced at Mu Niankai and smiled. What do you mean? Mu Niankai's eyes darkened. Do you think I can't win against Xia Ying, and I can only become the heroine if she quits? But at least Xia Ying is a strong competitor for you, Sister Nian Chi, right? Xia Menjian then said, if she doesn't participate, Sister Nian Chi, wouldn't you have a 100% winning rate? Why do I feel that this matter is not simple? Mu Niankai pinched her chin and said, could it be that Xia Ying has other plans? She can't just give up such a good opportunity. There must be some reason behind it. Xia Menjian thought for a while, then suddenly raised her lips and smiled, and said to Mu Niankai, Sister Niankai, if you say so, I seem to have an idea. What idea? Xia Ying, is she going to sing the opening song, because I heard about this recently. What are you talking about? Sun Han immediately interrupted Xia Menjian, the opening song was predetermined, okay. Of course it is exclusive to our Guanyang Lark sister Nian Qi, is Xia Ying worthy of it? Yeah, that might be, I'm overthinking it. Xia Menjian curled her lips, turned around, and then smiled lightly. She said this because she found out that the teachers in the office were discussing whether Xia Ying or Mu Niankai should sing the opening song yesterday. Although as an art student, Mu Niankai's voice has always been outstanding in Guanyang, Xia Ying singing at the opening ceremony really shocked everyone. And Xia Ying has a star aura, so the teachers are struggling with who should sing the opening song. Of course Xia Menjian knew that Xia Ying didn't know about this yet, but now that Mu Niankai knows about it, the result will be a little fun. Mu Niankai shook her fist. Will Xia Ying compete with her for the opening song? No, she can't allow this to happen. The second period ended in 20 minutes. As soon as the get out of class was over, Mu Niankai hurriedly prepared to walk to the teacher's office. She had to ask clearly whether she or Xia Ying would sing the opening song this year. As soon as Mu Niankai walked to the door of the office, she heard a lively discussion inside. Hey, did you listen to the new song of the Thornbirds yesterday? Listen, it's on the hot search that Thornbird is really awesome. Every time he posts a song, he becomes famous. Have you ever felt that the vocal conditions of Xia Ying and Thornbird are somewhat similar? Hey, it seems a bit weird for you to say that. Otherwise, we can let Xia Ying sing a cover of the Thornbird song for the school anniversary. It will definitely become popular by then. It can also serve as a publicity for our school. Good idea. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuan Suya. Chapter 69. Chapter 69. I must have more votes than Xia Ying. After hearing this, Mu Niankai's temples jumped with anger. She turned around and hurried to the classroom. Sun Han and Xia Menjian saw the expression on Mu Niankai's face and probably guessed the result. Sun Han remained silent without daring to say a word, while Xia Menjian faintly raised her lips and revealed a smile. When Mu Niankai passed by Xia Ying, she gave Xia Ying a very big eye roll. Xia Ying felt a little baffled. How did she provoke her? It looked like she had done something to feel sorry for her. Mu Niankai sat back in her seat, and Sun Han immediately rubbed Mu Niankai's back and shoulders, comforting him. Sister Niankai, don't be angry. Why are you angry because of that Xia Ying? Isn't it worth it? Can I not be angry? Everyone knows that I sing the opening song for all parties in the school. What's wrong with suddenly switching to Xia Ying? Could it be that she can sing better than me? No, is it because she is a has-been child star? Damn, that happened so many years ago. The school was really snobbish and said that Xia Ying's singing was very similar to that of Thornbird's. Bah! Mu Niankai spoke quite loudly. Although Xia Ying was 3 rows of seats away from her, she still listened to most of it. Xia Ying stopped writing. The school was going to arrange for her to sing the opening song? Why didn't she receive any news about this? So was it because of this little thing that Mu Niankai looked at her so much just now? Xia Ying shook her head helplessly. Mu Niankai really liked to compete with her in everything. Thornbird, Sister Niankai, are you talking about the singer who is very popular recently? Xia Menjian turned away and asked Mu Niankai. Who else could it be? It's her. Mu Niankai also had the Song of the Thornbird on her mobile phone, and she also became a fan of the Song of the Thornbird. Originally, Mu Niankai's dream was to be a singer, so she also preferred some talented singers who could sing. Now, she can be regarded as a little fangirl of Thornbirds. How could she bear it when others said that the person she hated the most sang like the person she liked the most? In her heart, Xia Ying was simply not as good as one of Thornbird's fingers. Xia Menjian pinched her chin. She usually didn't like listening to music, but she knew about a popular singer named Thornbird recently. For this reason, the teacher plans to let Xia Ying cover the song of Thornbirds. It's really an insult to my idol. Mu Niankai became angrier as she thought about it, and threw a pen away. The pen made a crisp sound when it fell to the ground, and it broke immediately. Xia Ying was shocked when she heard this. What? Let her sing a cover of the Thornbirds song? Then wouldn't she be exposed? If the song Xia Ying sang at the opening ceremony before made everyone think they were very similar to the Thornbirds, then if she sang the songs of the Thornbirds again, wouldn't they be exactly the same? Then she is the Thornbird, can't she hide it? No, she absolutely cannot reveal her identity so early. Xia Ying thought so and clenched her pen tightly. Sun Han, no matter what method you use, you must let me get more votes than Xia Ying. Mu Niankai half closed her eyes, lowered her voice and said seriously. Sun Han looked troubled. Nian, Sister Niankai, I. Don't tell me you can't do it, that bag you were interested in last time. When Sun Han heard this, his eyes suddenly lit up. Sister Nian Chi, don't worry, leave it to me. Mu Niankai turned away and looked at Xia Menjian again. Xia Menjian was confused by her. Sister Niankai, what's wrong? End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuan Suya. Chapter 70. Chapter 70 Refusal to no avail. Although you are Xia Ying's sister, you should know the consequences of going against me. Sister Niankai, don't worry, I won't say anything. Xia Menjian curled her lips. She knew that Mu Niankai was afraid that she would file a complaint, but how could she do it? I'm sorry you don't dare to say it either. Mu Niankai said angrily. Huh, I think the relationship between you two sisters is not very good. Sun Han tilted his head and looked at Xia Menjian and said. Xia Menjian has always called Mu Niankai, Sister Niankai, Sister Niankai, but she should not just call Xia Ying by her name. And last time Mu Niankai planned to frame Xia Ying, Xia Menjian didn't say a word and even participated in it. Think about it this way, is this a plastic sisterhood between the two of them? Mu Niankai looked sideways at Xia Menjian after hearing Sun Han's words. Xia Menjian immediately showed an aggrieved face, lowered her head, and whispered, you should have noticed that I have always tried to please Xia Ying, but she has never regarded me as her own sister. Xia Ying is a proud and arrogant person, so it's strange that she looks up to you. Sun Han curled his lips and said, I guess I've made you suffer a lot at home. Xia Menjian's eyes immediately turned red. Hey, don't cry, I'm just saying. Sun Han patted Xia Menjian on the shoulder, and Xia Menjian started to talk. When Mu Niankai saw Xia Menjian like this, she just said, even her own sister doesn't like her. Xia Ying is really a failure as a person. In other words, she just relies on her pretty face to seduce men everywhere. That's right. Sun Han immediately agreed. Xia Ying was called to the office by her class teacher as soon as school was over. Xia Ying probably guessed what happened. She was struggling with how to better refuse the teacher's invitation. Xia Ying, all our teachers have discussed it and are going to let you sing the opening song at the school anniversary. The opening song is Tomi Love by Thornbirds. What do you think? Looking at the expectant eyes of the teachers in front of her, Xia Ying didn't know how to refuse. Well, teacher, didn't you say that Mu Niankai sang the opening song? Xia Ying bypassed this problem. The head teacher frowned, a little embarrassed about this issue. We will talk to Mu Niankai, mainly to see what you mean. The school leaders value you very much, and besides, your voice needs to be excellent. You Mu Niankai, it's natural for you to sing the opening song. But, Teacher, I'm not good at singing in English. Xia Ying declined politely. Then, how about you sing in front of our audition first? Xia Ying's face was covered with black lines, and she dug a hole for herself. After she actually sang a few words at random, the beliefs of this group of teachers were strengthened. We must let Xia Ying sing the opening song, she is as good as the original singer, so shocking. Xia Ying dragged her tired body out of the office. Her refusal was fruitless, but she was still pushed forward. She absolutely couldn't sing the opening song anyway. Worse, if she ate more chili peppers or pretended to have a cold in those days, she would definitely not be able to sing. Xia Ying was walking when she suddenly saw the sneaky Hanzija in front of him. He was looking around, as if he was afraid of being discovered, and walked quickly towards the grove. Xia Ying narrowed her eyes, and her intuition told her that Hanzija had a ghost, so Xia Ying quietly followed Hanzija. Please give me a recommendation vote. End of this chapter.